This is a true infidelity story from my life. I am Elena Thompson, 52 years old, an American woman living in an affluent neighborhood in the suburbs of Los Angeles, California. This is a personal story, partially fictionalized to protect identities. I do not encourage or condone infidelity in any way. This content is for mature audiences only, intended for entertainment and reflection. If you're watching on the HLOARA channel, please stay until the very end, because this isn't just one person's secret. It's a warning about what can happen when loneliness overwhelms reason. Don't miss the ending. It will haunt you long after the video finishes. I never thought I would tell this story, but on these long, lonely nights lying awake in my sprawling mansion, with the sound of waves from the backyard infinity pool drifting in, I realize this secret is eating me alive from the inside. I used to be a devoted wife, a model mother, and a proud grandmother. Now I'm a woman betraying her own flesh and blood, my daughter Sophia, and my own conscience. It all began in 2022 on a hot summer afternoon, when our family still looked perfect on the surface. My husband Richard owned a large construction company. We lived in a 3-story mansion with a 2,000 square meter garden, an infinity pool overlooking the Santa Monica Mountains, and a lifestyle everyone envied. Sophia, my only daughter, was 28 years old that year and had just given birth to her first son, little Lucas. She was married to Mark, 35, a talented architect whom Richard had introduced to her. Mark was tall, with jet black hair lightly streaked with early silver and deep blue eyes that always radiated maturity. He wasn't loud or flashy, he was quiet, calm, and knew how to truly listen. Sophia loved him madly, and I thought I did too. Until everything changed. Richard died suddenly of a heart attack in March 2022. Overnight, the house felt ice cold even though the air conditioning was still running perfectly. Sophia had to stay at her law firm in downtown Los Angeles, and her husband was buried in a major project. I became the full-time caregiver for baby Lucas. Mark started coming over more often, bringing my favorite Italian dishes or simply sitting on the porch with 2 glasses of red wine, sharing memories of Richard. "Mom Elena, Dad Richard always said you were the strongest woman he'd ever known," Mark would say in that deep, warm voice, his eyes lingering on me a little longer than usual. At first, I saw it only as a son-in-law's concern. I was 52, still fit from weekly yoga and a strict diet, with long, softly waved brown hair and smooth skin thanks to expensive spa treatments. I never imagined I could still attract a younger man. But during those afternoons, when Sophia called on video from the office and Mark sat beside me on the Italian leather sofa, I began to feel a strange pull. It wasn't love at first sight. It was a deep, aching loneliness after 28 years of marriage. Richard had been my rock, but Mark, he made me feel alive again. Everything truly started one June evening. Sophia had taken little Lucas to her grandparents' house in San Diego for the weekend. Mark stayed in Los Angeles because of an urgent project. He called me at 8 p.m. "Mom Elena, I'm at the construction site, but I brought that bottle of red wine you like. Would you like me to stop by? I'm worried you might be lonely." I said yes. When Mark walked in, he was wearing a white shirt with the sleeves rolled up, carrying the faint scent of his masculine cologne. We sat by the pool as the night breeze carried the fragrance of jasmine from the garden. After the second and third glasses of wine, Mark talked about the pressure at work, and how he tried so hard to make Sophia happy but sometimes felt exhausted. I comforted him, placing my hand on his shoulder. In that moment our eyes met. No words were spoken, but the air suddenly grew heavy. Mark took my hand and squeezed it gently. "Mom Elena, I don't know what to do anymore." And then our lips touched. It wasn't a passionate movie-style kiss. It was trembling, guilty, and full of shame. His lips were warm, his fingers sliding into my hair. We pulled away, both breathing hard. "This is wrong," I whispered. Mark nodded, but his eyes had darkened with desire. "I know, but I can't stop thinking about you." From that night on, our secret affair began. It wasn't loud or reckless. It was carefully arranged, stolen moments within our busy, wealthy family lives. We never called it love. It was simply a deep craving, a way to ease the loneliness, a forbidden thrill that left both of us terrified yet addicted. Mark remained the perfect husband to Sophia. He still hugged her every morning, took Lucas to the park, and attended family gatherings. And I remained the loving grandmother, calling Sophia every day to check on her. But behind it all were our secret meetings. If you're listening right now, you're probably wondering, will Elena stop? Will this secret be discovered? Stay with me because the next part will keep you glued. The moment we almost got caught by Sophia, and how the guilt began to eat away at me day by day. Don't leave now because the story is just starting to heat up. Our second meeting happened 2 weeks later at a small boutique hotel by the beach in Malibu. Mark lied to Sophia, saying he had to go on an overnight business trip. I drove there alone, my heart pounding the entire way. The moment the hotel room door closed, we fell into each other without a word. Those intimate moments happened in silence, filled only with heavy breathing and tight embraces. Afterward, lying together on the king-size bed, Mark stroked my hair and said, "Mom Elena, I've never felt anything like this. With Sophia, everything feels like a responsibility. With you, it's freedom." I cried. I cried from guilt. Sophia is my daughter, my own flesh and blood, everything I had ever sacrificed for. I once held her in my arms and dreamed of a perfect family. Now I was stealing her happiness. Yet at the same time I couldn't stop. The feeling of being desired by a strong younger man made me feel valuable again. We set rules. No flirty texts, only work-related emails as cover. We only met when Sophia was busy or away. Those times were usually during the day while Lucas napped. Mark would come to the mansion, we'd lock the living room door and draw the curtains. Every single time, I trembled with fear that Sophia would suddenly come home, that Lucas would wake up, or that the wealthy neighbors would notice his car parked too long. But that very fear made everything even more thrilling. After each meeting, Mark would leave with a tired smile, while I sat alone in the bathroom staring at the mirror and asking myself, "What are you doing, Elena? Are you a monster?" Our secret lasted for 14 long months. In the fall of 2023, Sophia got promoted and became even busier, giving us more opportunities. One time during Christmas, the whole family gathered around the big tree in the living room. Sophia and Lucas were playing. Richard's photo still hung on the wall. Mark sat next to me on the sofa, his hand secretly touching my thigh under the blanket. I squeezed his hand tightly, my heart racing. Sophia turned around and smiled. "Mom and Mark are so close. I'm glad you have him taking care of you." Her words felt like a knife in my heart. I smiled back, but I could barely hold back my tears. There was one time we almost got caught. In March 2024, Sophia went on a 3-day business trip to New York. Mark was home with Lucas, but he drove straight to my mansion as soon as the boy fell asleep. We were in the master bedroom, the same bed where Richard used to sleep. Right in the middle of our intimate moment, the doorbell rang. It was Sophia. She had flown back early because she missed her son. Mark panicked and threw on his clothes. I quickly fixed myself and ran downstairs to open the door. Sophia hugged me. "Mom, I'm home." "Where's Mark?" Mark appeared from the kitchen, pretending to fix the coffee machine. "I was helping Mom Elena with the broken coffee maker." Sophia believed us. She smiled, hugged her husband, and I stood there with shaking legs and cold sweat running down the back of my neck. That night, after they left, I threw up in the bathroom. The guilt was so heavy I thought I was going crazy. But we still continued. Not because of some grand love, but out of habit, out of a physical and emotional craving that our wealthy life couldn't fill. Mark once confessed, "Mom Elena, I love Sophia, but you make me feel like a real man." And me? I loved my daughter more than anything. But I also loved the feeling of being held by Mark, of hearing him whisper praises that Richard had never said. We never talked about the future. We both knew it would end one day, either by getting caught or because our conscience could no longer bear it. Now, as I write these words on a night in March 2026, little Lucas is 2.5 years old. He's tall for his age, with curly black hair just like his father Mark and bright blue eyes that sparkle when he smiles. Every weekend, Sophia still brings him to my mansion to play. She walks in with a radiant smile, hugs me tightly, then sets Lucas down so he can run into my arms. "Mom, you look healthier these days. You should go out more instead of staying home alone," she says with genuine concern. While I sit there forcing a smile, stroking my grandson's head with a heart full of turmoil. Lucas calls me Nana, in his sweet little voice every time he wants me to carry him. I pick him up, breathe in the scent of milk and baby powder in his hair, and wonder. One day when he grows up, Will Lucas realize that his own grandmother once destroyed his mother's happiness? Sophia still seems happy with her husband. She continues posting perfect family photos on Instagram almost every week. All of them smiling brightly by the pool. Mark hugging Sophia from behind while she holds Lucas, with captions like blessed or family is everything followed by heart emojis. I follow my daughter's account. Every time a new post appears, I immediately like it and comment empty phrases like "Mom loves you all" or "Seeing you happy makes Mom so glad." But behind the phone screen, I feel suffocated. Those photos are proof of the perfect family that I helped crack from within. I know Mark is still the ideal husband. He takes Lucas to swimming lessons every Saturday morning, cooks dinner for his wife when she comes home late from the law firm, and still kisses Sophia goodnight. On the surface, no one suspects a thing. Mark remains the perfect son-in-law, polite, thoughtful, always calling me Mom Elena, with a warm voice in front of everyone. And me? I'm still Mrs. Elena, the strong woman everyone admires. Neighbors still compliment my figure, still invite me to their wealthy women's tea gatherings. I still go to the spa every week, practice yoga in my private studio, wear expensive dresses and do light makeup whenever I go out. No one knows that behind this polished appearance is a woman living with constant torment. Every morning when I wake up and look in the mirror, I see deeper wrinkles around my eyes and more gray strands in my hair, and I wonder, does Mark still find me attractive like he did at the beginning? Or does he only feel fear and guilt now when he looks at me? But every night, lying alone on that huge king-size bed, the same bed where Richard slept beside me for 28 years, I remember our secret meetings. I remember the scent of Mark's masculine cologne, that woody sandalwood mixed with a hint of musk, lingering on his white shirt every time he walked into the house. I remember the way he looked at me as if I were his whole world. Those blue eyes were no longer a son-in-law's eyes, but the eyes of a man filled with raw craving and desperation. Those moments now exist only in memory, yet they feel so vivid that I have to clutch the bedsheets to hold back my heavy breathing. I remember the trembling sensation when his hand slipped under my dress in the living room with the curtains drawn, the hot breath on my neck, and that forbidden thrill that made me shake and cry at the same time. Those memories don't fade with time. They grow sharper, pulling me deeper into my private pain. I don't know if I regret it. Yes, a huge part of me does. I regret letting the loneliness after Richard's death turn into a mistake that can never be undone. I regret destroying the pure mother-daughter bond with Sophia. Every time I see my daughter smile, my heart tightens. I betrayed her. I betrayed my own blood. I betrayed the values I once taught her. I regret turning Mark, the man I once saw as a son, into my secret lover, forcing him to live in lies every single day. There are nights I lie awake wondering, if I could turn back time, would I have stopped at that first kiss by the pool? The answer is usually yes, but then I make excuses. At that time I was so lonely I felt like I was slowly dying. Mark was the only one who made me feel alive, desired, and worthy again. Yet another part of me whispers that in this short life, sometimes we need a secret just to survive. That secret isn't beautiful. It's dark, dirty, and full of guilt. But it kept me sane through the days of widowhood. It gave me a reason to wake up each morning, to put on makeup, to smile at the neighbors, to hold Lucas without collapsing. Without that secret, I might have given up long ago. I might have become a truly lonely old woman sitting by the pool, staring at the Santa Monica Mountains with no life left inside me. My secret with Mark, no matter how wrong, had become a poisonous drug I was addicted to, a drug that hurt me but still kept me breathing. Right now, as I write this, I place my hand on my chest and feel my heart still beating steadily even though my soul is shattered. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe one day Sophia will find out, through a careless message, a strange look, or through her own son when he grows up and starts asking difficult questions. Maybe Mark won't be able to bear the pressure and will confess everything. Maybe I will carry this secret to my grave, and it will bury me along with all my guilty memories. But for now, I only know that I am still living in lies, living in torment, living with an unending longing for a man who was never truly mine. If anyone is listening right now, perhaps on the HLOARA channel, please understand this. Infidelity doesn't always start from hatred or boredom. Sometimes it begins with loneliness, with one accidental touch, and with the fear of having nothing left if that moment disappears. I am Elena Thompson. This is my true story. And I am still living with it, day by day, inside this luxurious mansion that everyone around me still envies. Last May, Sophia announced she was pregnant with their second child. Mark hugged his wife and kissed her forehead right in front of me. His eyes glanced at me for just a split second, but it was enough for me to understand. We still haven't stopped. This secret affair, with all its guilt and forbidden thrill, is still going on. I don't know how it will end. Maybe when Sophia finds out or when I can no longer bear it. But right now, I only know that in the modern world of wealthy families, secrets like this exist far more than we think. And they keep us alive, even if we have to pay with our very souls. Thank you for staying until the very end on the HLOARA channel. If this story made you think, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss other true secrets. See you in the next story.